Raw took place today in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, it was announced that this show would take place at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason being is that WWE is taping SmackDown immediately after Raw. So basically the entire roster is in town tonight. And the reason being is because Friday SmackDown takes place on the 4th of July. So WWE wants to give everyone the day off for the holidays. So that's why SmackDown's being taped, and that's why we have an earlier show tonight. Now, I'll say this. I actually kind of wish they would do this more often because I enjoyed this show quite a bit. I actually kind of liked what we had tonight. And it was actually a little bit easier to watch at 6. It's either you're watching at night on 8, as you do almost every Monday, or for the international shows, it's during the day. It's much earlier, but I actually preferred it to this format a little bit more than I do other weeks. Now, we started the show off with Ria Ripley coming out, gets a big pop as she always does. However, as she's talking very quickly, she's interrupted by Io Sky, the Women's World Champion. Io says Adam Pearce gave her the opportunity to choose her opponent at Evolution, and she wants to choose the best, so she is choosing Ria Ripley. Ria accepts her challenge. This was quick but sweet, short but sweet. I mean, it was fine. You know, they have no build. I didn't think we were going to get Io and Ria. I thought they might go Io Kyrie or maybe Io Asuka. But I was not expecting Ria this quickly, but this is probably, they feel, the best match they can put on, the biggest match they can put on as well. So that's what we're getting. After Ria accepts her challenge, they set it up. We have our main event probably, I would assume this is going on last. We got our match for Evolution. Io Sky defends her Women's World Championship against Ria Ripley. So, we go backstage to the Judgment Day. AJ Styles confronts Dominic Mysterio. Dom has a doctor's note on why he can't compete. AJ says he will challenge him when he's cleared. So, probably that's a SummerSlam match, I would assume. Then we have Judgment Day out next for the tag team title match. This is, of course, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Then we get the tag team titles on the line. New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defending their tag team championships, their world tag team championships, against Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day. And the Judgment Day win. They win the belts. It was a heel versus heel match. The New Day's reign is mercilessly over. They won the titles at WrestleMania against the War Raiders, and they've been horrible champions ever since. They were awful, one of the worst tag team champions in modern history. And they are a great team historically. I mean, 7-8 years ago, them and the Usos, they would tear it up. But it's incredible how much the Usos have totally surpassed the New Day in terms of being a great tag team. And I'm no fan of Jey Uso, but New Day were horrible champions. Their promos suck. Thank God for the New Day. It was just so obnoxious. It's not even a good heel way. It's just boring. And it's almost just cringe. It's like, oh, just go away. They had go away with me the whole time. Their matches weren't any good. Their promos all sucked. They were just boring. I think people should stop blaming creative. This act has run its course. It's finished. When Big E got hurt, the New Day lost their soul. I'm glad we have new champs. Anybody's better than the New Day at this point, and I'm happy the Judgment Day are tag team champions again. This was the right move. Dominic Mysterio, the current United States champion, came out and celebrated with Finn and JD. They all held their gold up high, and Judgment Day reigned supreme once again. So Pat McAfee was not on commentary, by the way. I think this is definitely a story. He's actually from Pittsburgh. He wasn't there. Corey Graves, who's also from Pittsburgh, was on commentary his 4th week in a row, and I hope that this just stays permanent because Corey's been very good. Him and Michael Cole were good on commentary. I don't want to see Pat McAfee back anymore. I'm not going to lie. I'm over him. And the fact that he wasn't here in Pittsburgh, his hometown, that's telling. Jackie Redmond interviewed Bayley backstage. Lyra Valkyria interrupted, and then they begin shouting at each other very loudly. Adam Pearce intervenes and makes a number 1 contenders match there tonight. The winner faces Becky Lynch at Evolution, the woman who was not here tonight for some reason. We had a really good video package on Goldberg highlighting his career through WCW. Almost got me nostalgic vibes. I remember showing all those cool highlights in WCW, the streak, when he jackhammered everyone and all those crazy spears, the jackhammer to the Giant, of course, who can forget, when he jackhammered Hulk Hogan to win the championship, the WCW championship in Atlanta in the Georgia Dome. Definitely his most famous moment as a wrestler. So it was actually a really good video package, and they went through his WWE days, then to his return, now modern, now up to speed today with the feud with Gunter. Chad Gable's backstage. He talks to American Made. Adam Pearce mocks him. He walked in about El Grande Americano. And then Gable gives a motivational speech to American Made. He puts Ivy in charge. Then we see Ludwig Kaiser watching in the background. And all I'm thinking is, all right, I think he's going to be El Grande Americano. This is something for him. I wish they would have done more with him. I think he's a really good heel, but I mean, they're choosing not to do anything, so this is better than nothing, man. I'd rather see Kaiser have this than not even be featured. Rusev was out next. Then we go backstage to Finn Balor and JD McDonough. They talk to Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis, both the Raw and SmackDown general managers were there tonight because both shows are being taped in Pittsburgh. And they have a conversation about the women's tag team titles. They agree to promote Roxanne Perez as women's champion alongside Raquel Rodriguez, so Roxanne's champion. And then the general managers announced that there's going to be a fatal four-way tag team match for the titles at Evolution. There will be one team from Raw, one from SmackDown, and one from NXT. So Roxanne and Raquel defend. I don't think it's the Bellas. I don't think we're getting the Bellas. I think they're just not going to do that thing with Nikki Bella now, which is interesting. They might still try to do it at WrestleMania, which I hope they don't. But I don't think we're going to get that now. I think for Raw, I would guess Asuka and Kairi Sane maybe makes the most sense. I think SmackDown definitely Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. And NXT, it could go different ways. I'll have to watch the show tomorrow night to get a better idea, but I'm not too sure they're going to go with NXT. But we do have that match set up. Next, we get Rusev and Sheamus. They definitely had a banger. It was a good match, good physical match. I wish it would have gone on a little bit longer. I think they could have had a good match on a PLE, but they don't do too many matches on PLEs. Plus, they have to do matches for Netflix. They can't just do throwaway matches. I thought the match was all right. It ended on the outside, so basically the turnbuckle, not the actual turnbuckle, but the thing that holds the turnbuckle to the post, that gets exposed. The steel gets exposed, and Rusev and Sheamus are fighting, and Rusev drives Sheamus chest first into the exposed steel. Then he finishes him off with the super kick, and Rusev defeats Sheamus. Adam Pearce is backstage, and he's talking to, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are doing a video promo, and it's announced that at Evolution there's going to be a Battle Royal. This keeps the tradition up because the first Evolution also had a Battle Royal in 2018, won by Nia Jax, I believe, and the winner is getting a title shot at Clash in Paris. I would have thought I would have gotten a title shot at SummerSlam. I think that would have made the match bigger. But they don't want to do that for some reason. I mean, they already have one side filled with Jade and Tiffany, but I think you could have done a Raw for the Women's World Championship. The winner gets a shot at SummerSlam, but they went with Clash in Paris instead, and it's going to be a month and a half in between the two shows, I believe. But that's what we're doing. So, also I wanted to mention on a separate break, I saw this on social media, Byron Saxton happened to interview who a few weeks ago was the hottest woman in all of wrestling, Stephanie Vaquer, who is so over that they barely use her anymore. I don't know why, especially during Evolution. But Stephanie announced that she's going to be in the Battle Royal, which is good. I'm glad Stephanie has something. She might win. You never know. I'm glad she has at least something. But I wish they can. She's not even featured on TV anymore. I think really since she didn't advance at Queen of the Ring, they don't even use her on TV. Why not? She's so over. I want to see more of Stephanie Vaquer on TV, but she appeared on the break. At least we saw her that way. I had to watch her on social media because I watched her a little bit on delay. I didn't watch it live. Jackie Remnard is interviewing American Made, and before they can really answer, we see A man dressed as El Grande Americano, much taller than Chad Gable. It's obvious it's Ludwig Kaiser. He's El Grande Americano now. Let's see what he does with it. Jackie then moves over to interview Sami Zayn following his victory at Night of Champions over Karrion Kross. Speaking of him, he immediately jumps Sami and he hits him in the ribs with a lead pipe. He has to be separated from Sami. Him and Scarlett laugh at Karrion's work. He's crushed Sami. Sami's hurt badly in the ribs after being hit with a lead pipe. They confirm it's Io Sky and Ria Ripley at Evolution. Then they run down other Evolution matches. You have the Battle Royal, Fatal 4 Women's Tag Team match, and then you have the NXT match. Jordynne Grace challenging JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. Gunther is out next. He makes fun of Goldberg for having short matches. He brings up his age. He's 58 years old, if you don't know. He cuts the same promo basically as last week. Seth Rollins interrupts him. He has a new black briefcase with gold lettering. It looks better than the old one. I hate the green one and the white one. And this briefcase is much better. And it was almost like a Pittsburgh theme. It's black and gold. The football team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, have the colors black and gold. So I was almost thinking, is this just a Pittsburgh theme? But it's also actually an Iowa theme. The Iowa Hawkeyes have the same colors as the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it actually does make sense for Seth because he's from Iowa. Seth says he went to Night of Champions to cost CM Punk the belt after Gunther mocked him. They tease a match between Gunther and Seth. Punk's music hits and he storms the ring, goes after Seth. Seth leaves through the crowd. Punk was walking by. Gunther grabs his arm, so Punk shoves down Gunther, and they're teasing a match. There may be SummerSlam. And then LA Knight appears in the crowd. He immediately attacks Seth Rollins. They battle through the concourse. Rollins gets away. And they're obviously setting up a match. Judgment Day is backstage. They all have gold now. Raquel Rodriguez still feels really bad about Liv Morgan. And then they do a vote where all of them have to vote to confirm Roxanne Perez as officially a member of the Judgment Day. All of them vote in favor, so Roxanne Perez is not only now one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, she is now part of Judgment Day officially. So Roxanne is in. She then says she wants to go after Kairi Sane because she took out Liv. So I think that's what I said earlier. It makes sense for Kairi Sane and Asuka to get spots at Evolution as part of the Raw side. Bayley is out next. Then we got a Kairi Sane highlight video package. She's the Pirate Princess. As I said, I think Asuka and Kairi are in Evolution. But I'm glad they're highlighting Kairi. I wish they'd do a little bit more with her. Next, we got Bayley against Lyra Valkyria. Crowd was super quiet for this match for some reason. I don't know why. Pittsburgh was just not into this. Near the end, they started to get into it, but it ended quickly. They both pinned themselves with their shoulders down. The match is a draw. They brawl after the match. They fight through the crowd, but they're separated. No signs of Becky Lynch tonight. I don't know why. We didn't see Becky. They announced LA Knight and Seth Rollins for Saturday night's main event. So it's official. Now we have our second match. I mean, this show is in less than 2 weeks or something. We only have 2 matches. It's weird. There's usually at least 5 for Saturday night's main event. Jackie Redmond tries to interview CM Punk. He's pissed off at LA Knight, who he goes and confronts because he's getting a match with Seth Rollins ahead of him at Saturday night's main event. Knight just basically tells him off. We see Sami Zayn backstage. A trainer's trying to help him, but he has his ribs all taped up. Penta meets him backstage before they head out for their tag match. We see Sami walking through Gorilla before he makes his entrance. Then we get the main event. After Penta came out, it's Sami and Penta in the ring. Backstage, Paul Heyman's talking to Bron and Bronson. It's almost as if they're teasing tension really early, but they almost kind of were. They say Seth has already left the building, and now Bron's in charge. So Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed make their entrances, and we get the main event. Sami's ribs are the story here. He eventually suplexed Bronson later in the match, which I didn't think made sense, but he was selling his ribs throughout because Cross injured him. Sami actually did the springboard moonsault to the outside. This was a tribute to Sabu, obviously, the way he did it, which was cool. I'm not sure if the Saudi Arabia thing was a tribute to Sabu as well, but I thought that was, if it was, it would have been cool. But this is another tribute to the great Sabu, so R.I.P., man. Later in the match, Braun Breaker pinned Sami Zayn after a spear. Then they went to attack him after the match. They were setting up Bronson Reed doing a tsunami onto Sami. This was after Braun Breaker speared Penta, but right when Bronson's going to do the tsunami, Jey Uso makes a save. He comes up with a chair. He fights off Braun Breaker with the chair. Then he fights off Bronson Reed, hits him with a chair, gets him out of the ring, and he checks on Sami as Sami, and Penta stay in the ring. The heels retreat, and that's how Raw ended. It was an okay ending. I thought the show was actually pretty entertaining for the most part. I think Judgment Day is the best part on the show right now. It's becoming a staple. I think they've surpassed the Bloodline in every way right now. They're actually becoming a really good staple. I think Roxanne's added a lot to them, and I'm enjoying the Judgment Day quite a bit. That's probably my favorite part of the show. There's other things I enjoyed as well, but the main event was just all right. So as we speak right now, they're recording SmackDown. I'll stay away from spoilers, but I know it's the 4th of July show, it's a tape show. They're probably going to do a food fight backstage. I hope we get that at least on SmackDown, but my expectations are very low, so I'll take a peek of what happens. But Raw I thought was decent. Hopefully SmackDown, which is now 2 hours, being recorded right now in Pittsburgh as we speak, is a good show as well. I'm just happy the show's 2 hours now, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what WWE is doing as they're taping the show for SmackDown right now. And once we get more answers, we can temper our expectations to the type of show we get this Friday on SmackDown.